lot of black people gonna be mad at me. A lot of people gonna be mad at me. Everybody ain't meant to be saved. Everybody can't be saved. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want everybody to be saved. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I need the world to have balance, man. You know what I'm saying? A battery can't operate with two positive sides. Life don't operate with too much positivity. Life has to have a balance of positivity and negativity in order for there even to be an existence.
The law of polarity.
You feel what I'm saying? In order for there to be an existence, you know what I'm saying? So we need that balance. If I'm not able to, if I have nothing to compare to, then I know if I can't say, oh, I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't like that. You feel what I'm saying?
So we need some niggas fucked off to be
Nah, but I get that. But on a greater scale, you also don't have to sell yourself as something where you got these kids the same way people are mad that when they putting this PDF stuff on these kids in school, you shouldn't be mad. You should say it's just entertainment. It's a book. So you shouldn't be mad when you rapping about something.
Violence.
Or violence, and these kids that's easily influenced are following you. You ain't, why not sell that image? Why not just be a different type of entertainment?
Where do we draw the line?
I don't believe as a father, okay, of 5 kids, okay, and 2 grandkids, I did an experiment myself based off something that I seen, okay? So let me clarify. I do not believe in no way, shape, form, or fashion that hip-hop or hip-hop music has a major influence on the violence that happens in our community.
I agree.
Nope. And let me tell you why. Because at being 53 years old, I jumped off the porch at 12. You feel what I'm saying? That's when I ran away from home, you know what I'm saying? And started just being in the streets, being up under Big Cup and Catman and just being in the streets. You know what I'm saying? At this time, this is when Rick Dogg and and Cup was like best friends. Them niggas tattooed each other's name on each other. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
This is how niggas was on some gangbang shit. You know what I'm saying? And so when you talk about that time period, you know what I'm saying? When it was really going down, outside of Colors, there was no gangbanging songs, bro. Niggas was busting the Stetsasonic. Some people
back in the 70s. Niggas got the oldies.
Silent walk. Niggas was busting to the Vapors. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm talking about this is at the height of gangbanging. There was no gangbanging soundtrack for niggas to put in work to. So I don't know why they have this impression that, have we forgot about mafia movies? Have we forgot about the influence of movies and television and violence in television and movies? The visual violence impresses a person way more than just hearing violence. A visual of violence is much more impressionable than just hearing it. It's the visuals. The visuals make you want to mimic. You seeing it makes you want to mimic it. You feel what I'm saying? Now, to the point of our community and our community following in the trends of violence, I believe now in hip hop, I don't think it's because of just rap music. I think it's because niggas is taking it personal. I'm dissing your hood. I'm dissing your dead homies. I'm dissing your moms. You feel what I'm saying? That's not just rap. You feel what I'm saying? Now it's become more of a situation of trying to invoke the violence out of you. I'm trying to provoke you. You feel what I'm saying? And so if I'm listening to a Dirk or Duck or one of these cats, and I'm from Chirac, and I listen to Dirk, I listen to a lot of these cats, a lot of times they talking about instances. They talking about incidents. They talking about distinct people, distinct places. And so that, in turn, will bring a response. 9 times out of 10, a violent response. But you look at Quick and MC8. this nigga's like, nigga, you ain't a G because the A and just dissing back and forth. But it never went to that point. It never went to where it got dragged into the trag news and the treetops, going all out super war to where that made the headlines behind what Quick and 8 was doing. You feel what I'm saying? You know why? Because when it came to the real niggas that was on the block, they was able to make that discernment. Oh, them niggas over there they on that rap shit.
Yeah, but see, social media blurred the lines of that.
Exactly.
I think that's what changed. Is this generation we seeing people getting record deals for doing that. So I'm gonna mimic that. I'm gonna start doing drills.
Oh,
start rapping
I'm
about
gonna tell
it.
y'all the inside secret from
You
being
know
on
what
the
I'm saying?
inside of the industry. The reason they want to give y'all a record deal like that, and shout out, you know what I'm saying, to my boy Yuckmouth from Loonies, you know what I'm saying? Same thing that what's the name tried to do to him, Rap a Lot tried to do to him. A lot of these niggas don't know they signing contracts with life insurance policies in them.
Yeah, we talked
Yeah.
about that. Yeah.
They signing contracts with life insurance policies on them. So I want you to drop a record and crash out. That's what I need you to do.
What's that
'Cause
record
not
company?
only-
It was like 10
not-
rappers.
No, see, because listen, no, that's they investigating them right now.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
investigation.
Vaughn, all them niggas was
Vaughn,
on there.
and they all had the star ring.
yeah, they investigating them right now.
Yup.
Koch. You know what I'm saying? They was all signed to Koch.
It wasn't Game with Koch.
A lot of people was with Koch.
Was it Koch or was it like not Amalgam Digital? That was way back in Max
No,
B days.
I believe it was Koch. But I just actually seen an article the other day that the feds is launching an investigation.
Yeah, because it was
on
too
the
many
label.
artists getting off, and then they all had insurance policies. I think Mo3 was on there, Vaughn.
Yeah.
It was a gang of
Hold on,
niggas.
see, but Jim Jones was on there and a couple other motherfuckers who didn't die. You feel what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing about it. Like in the case of when you look at some of these cats who got killed, you know, where does the responsibility lie on themselves versus trying to blame hip hop, versus trying to blame the record companies, versus trying to blame anybody else? When are we going to have these people who are involved in these actions or who succumb to these actions? When are we going to hold them accountable for their actions alone? You feel what I'm saying? Because a lot of times it's usually family members. It's usually family members because of social media. You know how you go to the funeral
Oh, he was
and
a good kid.
the preacher always say, oh, he was a good kid. And he didn't.
No, he was killing niggas.
Yeah, you up here lying like a motherfucker. You talking about when that nigga was a baby.
That nigga got 11 hats, nigga.
He was a good nigga
That
though.
was
You know
Lil
what I'm
Jeff,
saying?
nigga out here off and shit.
He was still
You have the same thing. You have people, family members who rest in peace or whatever case. They immediately take to social media.
Yep.
They immediately take the social media and involve and start engaging. And a lot of times it's fuel poured onto the fire. I know when in the Vaughn situation, it had a lot to do with the sister, to where the fuel got poured on the fire afterwards. You feel what I'm saying? Like afterwards it went because other people got involved, you know what I'm saying, and added fuel to that fire. But if you as a young person listening to music and you are influenced to go out there and throw your life away or that based on the music, you stupid as fuck and more power to you. Bye.
Hey, look.
Now we can say that.
Let's
Yeah,
hey, look.
no, real talk.
I
Because
know what you're saying.
them are the people. The people who can be influenced by that are the people I'm scared to get reparations. I swear to God. It's them motherfuckers.
Hold on,
right
a
there.
rapper could make you crash out. You don't need no money.
If you can be influenced by a nigga on a rap song to go fuck your life off or take another life, you don't need fucking reparations.
I'm gonna say this. Only reason why I say I agree with you with that now is because of the age of information. But I'm gonna say when I was growing up in the 90s, it wasn't that accessible.
But that's why I think
and that's-
the older generations do need to take some accountability.
And that's why I was trying to get at Kali where
It's fully-
it was
Hey,
time
it's all connected. It's all connected.
Niggas get rich and like, well, it was entertainment. Hold on, nigga. You was telling me this shit was
out of
real,
touch.
nigga.
Now you out of touch with it.
It's
Wait a
all
minute.
connected because without any of the shit happening in the 80s and the 90s, we don't get to where we are now where things become what they are. So I think it's all a circle of life. Like it started here and it's progressed into what it is now. I think until older generations in hip hop take accountability, like we talked about Jay-Z, you know, his implementation and
Yeah,
battle
Shaq.
rap and rap beef.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But
we was on some bullshit too.
so I think a lot of older cats can say, hey, we maybe were off, or maybe some of the information we got from some of the big homies was off. whatever it was, and maybe steer kids a different way than just saying what a lot of people say, which is like, well, nowadays it's fucked up, but how did we get there?
Because it started
You know what
from
I mean?
back then in the 90s. Because even the song, even the world, even with the world premiere, he just said he was when they what would you do? It was a song, it was a verse. Fuck BG Knockout and every nigga down with him. Mind you, I'm a kid and I'm up here. Yeah, fuck BG Knockout, but not long ago. I was singing BG Knockout when he was dissing Dre and them. Like it was a whole big circle of everybody dissing everybody. And this is what I grew up listening
They
to.
definitely got to take accountability or get to the point where just say, I didn't give a fuck about none of y'all. I was getting my money.
No,
Let me
you
finish
can't-
my point. Let me tell you why. Because you saying it's entertainment. The NBA is entertainment. How many people wanted to be like Mike? And the people that wanted to be like Mike had to go to practice and do everything that they thought Mike did. So if you wanted to be one of these gangster rappers and say, oh, you just not influenced by that. And I'm not saying you have to have a strong mind to not be influenced, but a lot of niggas that's already living that are not influenced. But then you get these white boys and we see these, while the culture is in Asia and these niggas want to be Crips or anything else because of what they're seeing, like you said, and what they're hearing. So if a nigga claiming he got bodies and people are confirming it, even lying for him or shit like that, and the nigga going there, and then now the kid is thinking, well, for me to be this person, I gotta catch a body.
That's how Little Jeff was invented, right? He wanted to be the next Von.
But check this out though. I'm speaking from a personal perspective and a perspective of being in the studio with, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers dropping gangster rap and gangster songs. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you a prime example. We got a commercial on our album, Def Shack album, called The Train. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where we pretend like, you know what I'm saying, like the homie digging his broad out and then
Y'all flipped her.
Yeah, he creeped out the room and then 2 Scoop creep in there, but she don't know it's 2 Scoop and that. Nigga, I've never ran a train in my life. You know what I'm saying? Never in my life. My opinion has always been, nigga, if you in the same room with another nigga and your dick hard, nigga, you homo. Bottom line, I don't give a fuck how much pussy laid on the table, nigga. Nigga, you got your dick in your hand, nigga, while I'm in the room, nigga. No. You feel what I'm saying? But we put that on the album. But when we made that commercial, we made it out of some having fun shit. We didn't think about the audience. We didn't think about the fans. We damn sure didn't think about that this can be considered something wrong against a black woman. You feel what I'm saying? We just looked at it as something to go in there and do. A lot of times when you have artists, I know from our era, who went in there and rapped about these things and rapped about, you know, the rat-a-tat-tat-tat, niggas did not rap with an audience in mind.
But why even create?
It's different.
Why?
It's different now because you have artists engage, you have fan engagement because of social media. So you get to hear your fans. You get to hear your fans' opinion. You get to engage with your fans. Coming up in the 90s, it was not like that. The only time you dealt with your fans was at an autograph signing. That's it, that's all. Other than that, we had no engagement.
Because let me hear this, because if you think doing that is gay, why even portray that as if this is what you're doing?
Because we looked at it as a time that was something funny that was going on in the black community. That was a reflection of what was going on in the black community. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of stuff that a motherfucker rapped about, you feel what I'm saying? Again, not disrespecting nobody. 90% of the niggas who talk about they bust ain't never bust.
I understand that, but
You feel what I'm saying? Most people who bust for real don't get on record and say you bust because you feel something can be tied back to you.
Right, but let me ask you this. What about the kids that, because again, we all know kids listen to hip hop. We talking about this
again, in the 90s, there was no thought. See, this is a different era. This is a social media era. This is all that. There was no thought of a child. You know what I'm saying? The only thought of a child when you rapped in the 90s was they slapping that parental advisory sticker on there.
What was that? No. Hold on. Yeah. No, what was the lady that came out and they were trying to burn NWA and them CDs?
You talking about another dude?
Hold on, but it ain't that the gap though? Because when y'all did what y'all did, when y'all did what y'all did,
shot her out.
And y'all was making the music, y'all didn't have the fan engagement, so y'all didn't know the ramifications of the influence that y'all were influencing.
We didn't even make music for the fans. That's why we didn't like Summertime in the LBC. When most artists went into the studio and made music, they made music for themselves. This is what we wanted to talk about. This is what we wanted to hear. We didn't make music for the record company. We didn't make music for the fans. Nowadays, people make music for the fans. Back then, you didn't make music for your fans. You feel what I'm saying? You had the conceited mentality that motherfuckers was a fan of the culture in you any goddamn way, regardless of what you said. When we came out, our biggest thing was the whole world is on the West Coast dick. No matter what the fuck we said, the world's on the West Coast dick.
I like that.
And this is why you had a lot of MCs that come out during that era who came out trash as fuck because they thought they was gonna get by just because the whole world was on the West Coast dick. But nobody went into the studio and said, okay, we gotta make this type of record for this type of audience because we didn't know the audience was.
Okay, y'all didn't have the information. Knowing the information and having the information that we got now, if you don't have a certain message, it seems like you won't reach certain audiences or reach certain heights. And once you start pushing certain messages, which seems like it's influencing kids to do certain acts, to go a certain way, and that's being funded versus, okay, these messages, people say they want these messages, but they're not pushing these messages.
But you know what's
you
crazy?
can't even get on if you're talking against these messages. So that's when it starts to look like,
don't think all the time it's being funded. You know why? Because a lot of times, and I've seen this, a lot of times when they going that way in the messages, the money that they making from the fans that's supporting them. And that's why they keep doing it. It ain't the machine that's always putting money in there. It's the actual people that's going out buying and supporting that's putting money in their pocket. So they keep going down that route because they got a fan base that's coming out to their shows, turning up, acting up with them, doing this, and being all in their DMs and buying their merch and being all on their thing that's following that. You feel what I'm saying? And then once the machine sees that you got that following and you got your cult following already, and they running behind you, yeah, I throw a little money to make you a little bit bigger.
So what about the niggas who are
I
pushing
do.
a separate message? They got that audience, but they can't get the funding from the machine.
They can. It just depends on what they do. Look at Lecrae. Lecrae from Dago. Lecrae, the first West Coast rapper to win a Grammy.
It's crazy too because
He the first West Coast rapper to win a Grammy. Do anybody fuck with Lecrae?
I do.
Lecrae is straight from the street, straight from the hood. He just do
When I think of
Christian
Dago, I
rap.
think of J.O. Felony.
Shout out to Lecrae. That nigga came to the county jail and performed. That's how I learned about. That's how I learned about.
crazy.
That's how I learned about Lecrae.
I heard about
He a real nigga, number one. You feel what I'm saying? And he far from a buster, but he just only talks about positivity. And he refuses to go down that route of anything. He the first one came out. He got on by shooting at Jay-Z. Ate Jay-Z the fuck up. Like, nigga, your name you ain't Hove.
That's dope.
Quit
See, I
trying to
never
take
heard of
Jesus'
it.
name. You ain't on that level.
I ain't heard that.
He was on Jay.
But
I
I do like the point that you made. I want to highlight that, and I feel like that's a lost art of, like you said, we made the music that we liked, and if you liked what we made, then that was cool. Like,
Yes,
I
exactly.
think why music is where it's at now because people go in there with the mindset of I'm gonna make something that
that the radio like. I'm gonna make something that TikTok gonna like.
it's not as authentic to me because I think like when you making things that, because nobody could be you. So when you make things that you like and the things that you into, you gonna attract the audience you supposed to, not just to where they gonna keep. You might be here today and gone tomorrow. I look at those artists like that.
But if we're in a streaming era, and the key thing to streaming is, okay, we got to get this hot on TikTok. We got to get this hot on Instagram. We got to get this hot on Twitter. We got to get it hot in the algorithm. And the bullshit is what's getting hot and what's getting the money. Can we really blame the artist for following the bullshit? If, like you said, what message are you willing to die? What hill are you willing to die on with your message? If my message is to keep it real and authentic and straight to the core hip hop, but I'm going to be here today, going
depends
tomorrow.
on how much their stomach is touching their ribs.
They broke as fuck. Niggas all trying to get out the hood.
So the majority of them will follow that path in order to come up out of that poverty situation. Sad as it is, you know what I'm saying? A lot of our people and a lot of the youngsters feel that that's the only way. They feel that that's the only hope. You feel what I'm saying? And so therefore they travel down that path. Again, they're not familiar with the cats like Lecrae. They're not familiar. Lecrae was independent. You know what I'm saying? He independent, made big bank, and won a Grammy. And still out there. Just seen him on Hot 97 not too long ago. Still blowing up big. Refusing to conform to any way possible of the system. But turn his music on and see if he ain't got some of them West Coast,
I'm about to check him out, bro.
Yeah, but
Nah,
he just
Lecrae
ain't on a
nice.
negativity. That's a conscious choice. So it's those who might feel that they don't have that, oh, I gotta give you that. No, only that person wants that from you. Now, that ain't the thing. The thing is the impatience. Am I gonna be patient enough to say, well, nah, I'm good on that. I'm gonna go try to find a different situation, man. I don't wanna be on that tip, man.